You're watching The Ugly Inside? Subscribe below.
Southampton make their third away trip in a week in a visit to Leicester City on Sunday. I'm joined by a special guest to help us give us a lowdown from the Foxes. I'm joined by Phil from 100% LCFC. Welcome back, mate. Good to see you again. How you doing?
Really good, really good. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. When we last spoke, actually, you were on the brink of the title. And I've got to say, I was very impressed by the atmosphere when we visited the King Power. So with that in mind, is the atmosphere still as electric as it is now as it was back then a couple of months ago?
Yeah, it has. I mean, we just had a Champions League match this week where it was superb under the floodlights and the atmosphere. I mean, obviously, Southampton and Leicester basically share the same stadium. They're very similar grounds. The big thing that causes the atmosphere improvement at our ground is these clappers. You know, these things that we get and we're hitting around. They're amazing, really. Lots of fans don't like them and go, oh, it causes a bit of a fake atmosphere, but it causes an atmosphere. What's fake about 30,000 of the same people all beating in time with the drummer and singing along? Because you get even the fans who aren't so vocal, maybe, join in. They'll just happily tap along, and it just creates a rhythm to the atmosphere. So I don't know if you guys never tried them at St Mary's.
No, I don't think we have, to be fair. Well, we might have done a couple of years ago when they very first opened, but it never really caught on. But I mean, kudos to you guys. It's worked. You know, it's helped you win the title last season. You can't fault that.
It amazes me that every ground I think it costs the club £10,000 a week, which sort of sounds a lot, but not in today's Premier League money, is it?
Not at all. Anyway, let's talk about Sunday's game then. So you've lost 3 games already, which is the same amount you lost in the whole of last year. So tell us, how are the team performing at the moment, mate?
Well, we've got a positive spin on that in the fact that we're only 1 point behind where we were this time last season, because we didn't have the best start last season. We've already played some tough teams, Arsenal and Man U, in that opening 5 or 6 games. So confidence is okay. You know, again, we're two wins in the Champions League keeps us buoyant. I don't know. I don't know what Leicester fans think's a good season. Some of us think, look, staying in the Premier League is going to be a good season. Some of us fancy, well, let's try and retain the title, and it could be anything in between the two. So the mood's still buoyant, but there's a bit of nerves around.
So, I mean, let's talk about some of the key players then. You broke your record transfer for Islam Slimani towards the end of the window. Should we be fearful of him, or should we be fearful of the usual suspects in Mahrez and Vardy?
Well, I mean, he has already started scoring, which is great. He's scored 3 goals. They're all headers, and he's quite an old-fashioned English number 9. He's physical. He's quite mobile. He's got a good touch. He holds the ball up well, but we've got, with Albrighton and Mahrez, we've got 2 people who can put a decent ball in the box, and finally now we've got somebody who can head it in, because we were lacking that last season. So yeah, he is definitely one to watch, especially from set plays and crosses.
It's going to be quite a duel in the air on Sunday afternoon with Virgil van Dijk, one of our best players. Obviously can head the ball like nobody's business, so he'll certainly have his work out. But would it be fair to say that Mahrez and Vardy haven't quite hit top gear yet?
I think Vardy's looked all right. Mahrez is a bit hit and miss. He's one of these players who can look a little bit lazy and a bit disinterested, but he's got so much skill that he can turn that on in a flash. And again, against Porto, he seems to like the big stage in front of lots of people, when he knows that, like, he's perhaps got a global audience. So you might catch him on an off day against no offence, but against Southampton, he might be a bit. Don't fancy it.
So, I mean, like us, you're on the European tour. You've mentioned Champions League, 2-2 so far. What are the expectations for the squad or even the fans? You know, would you rather go further than Champions League, or would you challenge for the title once again?
I think the honest is that I think most fans accept that last year was. I think if it was the same for you, Southampton, that was just a blip. It's like a dream. We'll look back on that and go, did we actually ever win the Premier League? How did we do that? So this year, I think the honesty is a mid-table or a top half finish would be great. Most years we'd be well chuffed with that. So we'll take that this year. we quite fancy ourselves in the Champions League. The group we're in isn't that hard, I don't think. So we could very much qualify from that. And then if you win the group in the Champions League and you get a nice draw, you could suddenly be in the last 8 of the Champions League. So I think most Leicester fans quite fancy the Champions League this season.
And like I say, we're on a European tour as well, and rotations has got to be expected, right?
Yeah, I think that's it. And I think like very much with the same with you guys is playing the amount of games that they've just played in quick succession. That's where the squads come in. And sometimes I think you might see in the Premier League. It depends which competition the club is focusing on. The same for you guys. You know, a bit of me thinks, well, if you're going to try and qualify for Europe by finishing high in the Premier League, you might as well give it a go. Else, what's the point in trying to finish in the top 6 or 7? So I think the clubs like Southampton and Leicester need to treat the European competitions with some real, interest. But you've got to keep half an eye on the Premier League as well, haven't you? It's not easy.
That's right. I mean, with that in mind, then, what sort of squad or what sort of 11 can we expect to see on Sunday then for the Foxes?
I think again it'll be pretty much the same team that has been starting in all the matches. So you'll have Schmeichel. It'll be the main team I would expect against Southampton because you guys will be a threat. It will be a tough match. It's normally a game, Leicester-Southampton. There's normally goals in it over the last couple of matches. So, yeah, I think Leicester will treat it with a lot of respect.
And finally then, let's have a score prediction, mate. Sunday afternoon at the King Power, Southampton versus Leicester City.
I think you'll score 1, but I fancy we'll get 2 or 3. So I'm going to go for a Leicester win, I'm afraid.
Well, there you have it, guys. Let us know in the comments below what you make of the Leicester City away game on Sunday afternoon. Don't forget to check out the boys over on 100% LCFC. Subscribe to their channel over there. But for now, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more. Cheers, Phil.
Thanks, Freddie. See you soon.